Start? Okay. Shall I? The question being asked is, what is intuitive knowledge which you speak of? The intuition is of two types. Intuition is about the worldly events of the world, or intuition is about the self. Intuition is about the self. All of us are very clear. I exist, I am aware. Whenever we say I am, I stands for consciousness and am stands for existence. So existence and consciousness is my nature is very, very evident to us. So this is not coming from the sense organs or the mind. It is coming from the within, deep within. This is called intuitive knowledge of my nature as existence and consciousness. It's called Sat and Chit. Now let us look at our own waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. Did I have a knowledge of I am in deep sleep? The knowledge of I am is also not there in deep sleep. So in deep sleep, there's no consciousness of the objects or consciousness of the subject. Subject is the I am. What is then deep sleep is? Deep sleep is a state of pure awareness, our essential nature. When the vasanas, impressions which are there, they put a pressure, we wake up in the morning and the body appears. First, intellect appears, subtle intellect appears, and the body appears. There's a reflection of consciousness in the intellect. It's called Chidabhasa. This reflection of consciousness in the body. Body and mind reflect the consciousness called Chidabhasa. So then I know I am. I exist. I am aware. Knowledge is there. When the body and the intellect appear. If there's no body and intellect appearing, there's no knowledge of I am. So the body and intellect are the mirror for consciousness to recognize I exist and I am aware. So like I want to see my face, I need a mirror. Okay. So when the mirror is there, I recognize this is my face. If the mirror is not there, I will never be able to see my face. My face I cannot see without the help of a mirror. Without the help of a mirror, I have no knowledge about how my face looks like. Similarly, without the mirror called body and mind, or intellect, mind and body is not there, the self is not aware of itself. So when a face is reflected in the mirror, I know that this is my face. Okay. I won't touch and say, this is my face in the mirror. Right? There's a mirror. I'm seeing my face. Oh, this is my face. Okay, this is my face. But I'll never confuse. I am this face. There's no confusion. I am this face with respect to mirror. I know very well, oh, this is the reflection. I am original here. So that no confusion for a reflected face in the mirror. But there is a confusion arises with respect to reflection, which is in the buddhi and manas and the body. I confuse myself with the reflection in the mirror called buddhi and mind and the body. So now I say, I am the mind, I am the body, I am the intellect. Now, what is intuitive part here? I am is the intuitive part. Okay. So I am recognizing I exist. I am aware in the presence of reflection. In the absence of reflection, in the absence of body and mind, I cannot be aware of anything. The consciousness, pure awareness, cannot be aware of anything. It's non-dual. In the presence of the duality, there is awareness that I exist, I am aware. So the duality is required to recognize that I exist, I am aware. Otherwise, there's no possibility of self-recognizing anything. But the moment you recognize, see your face in the mirror called buddhi, intellect, and the mind and the body, I am, the sense of I am, I exist, I am aware comes. For whom it comes? For whom it doesn't, it comes? It comes from the conscious entity. Because the reflection of my face in the mirror is unconscious. It's like it's jada. Mirror is jada, inert. My face reflection in the mirror is inert, jada. So if I make a face like this, the face also smiles there. But I know it's an object, right? And if okay, I make a face like this, the mirror reflection says, but I know very well it's a reflection. But unlike that, the reflection Chidabhasa is a consciousness reflecting. It's not a jada inert reflecting. The consciousness reflecting in the inert jada body. So now the boundary between the original consciousness and reflected consciousness is not clear. Where the original consciousness is there, where the reflected consciousness is not clear, because everything appears to be conscious. Are you getting what I'm saying? So you don't know this is the original consciousness and this is the reflected consciousness. So now I say I am, I exist, I am aware because of the body, because entire thing has become animated, conscious. You don't know the boundary between the two, original and reflected. The confusion is created. And this confusion is recorded in the memory continuously that I am the body. And this how long this confusion persists? Until you inquire, who am I? Separate out the original consciousness from reflected consciousness with Atma, Anatma Viveka, Nitya, Anitya Viveka. Understand, oh, this is the reflection, I am the original. This is the reflection, I am original. So that I am is called intuitive knowledge. And all knowledge happens in the buddhi only, intellect only. All knowledge happens in the buddhi only. But the source of knowledge is coming from within. I am saying I am exist. Consciousness saying I exist. It's not a body and mind. So the body and mind cannot say I am. Body and mind is only a reflecting surface. The consciousness which is reflected becomes a package called Jivatma. That Jivatma says I am. But of course, there's a confusion now. Where is the source of Atma? Where is the Atma and where is Jiva? The original consciousness, reflected consciousness, where is the boundary? That boundary is not clear. You can imagine a room in which a lamp is lit and everywhere glass, everywhere room is full of glasses, mirrors. So the lamp reflects in the mirrors. You don't know which is original lamp. Everywhere reflection is there. Similarly, when the body and mind is illuminated by the consciousness, it becomes alive, conscious. We don't know exactly the boundary between the original and reflected. This conscious entity claims that I am. Are you clear? That I am is intuition. The real meaning of I am is I am conscious, I am existence. But confused understanding of I am is I am the body. So the entire spiritual journey is remove this confusion to understand what is original I am. That original I am, I exist, I am aware. Sat and Chit is infinite. The reflecting surface is limited, body and mind. The infinite Sat Chit Ananda is reflected in the body and mind and feels limited by the body and mind. It's like I see my face in the mirror and I feel I am limited by the mirror. That confusion doesn't come to me in respect to mirror, which is actually inert. But body becomes alive and conscious. The confusion arises. The infinite Ananta nature is forgotten. Ananta nature is missed out. Then I start living my life as Jivatma starts living a life as Jiva. I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. To remove this confusion, understand what is the original and what is the reflected, we have to apply Drak Dasha Viveka, Nitya Anitya Viveka, Atma Anatma Viveka to realize our own true nature, Satchidananda.
Where does this intuition separate the original consciousness from the reflected?
Now, the intuition, anything is a knowledge. Intuition is a knowledge, right? Any knowledge. The question is, the intuition separates from the original from the reflected is the question. Intuition is also knowledge. Okay. Intuition is also knowledge, but it's not knowledge about the object. It's knowledge about the subject, which is not limited by time and space. Okay. Now, the intuition itself is always pointing to reality. I exist, I am aware. It's always, when you say I am, you are already speaking of reality. But the intellectual, it is getting mixed up in the intellect. Intellect is mixing that with the body mind complex because of Adnana. So the intuitive knowledge of I am is mixed with the knowledge of the body mind intellect. I am the body and the mind and the intellect. So that knowledge, when this I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect comes from the memory. Because all actions happen through the body, all happening, I record it as because of this body. So identity is coming to the intellect. That identity is called ego. Ego is always a product of past and future. Past memories and future imagination. Now, a pseudo entity, complex entity is created. Intuitive knowledge, which is pointed to reality. Please understand, knowledge points to reality. Knowledge is not reality. With a knowledge, I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect is getting mixed up. Now, Viveka systematically separates out Drak, Drashya, seer, seen, and also Atma, Anatma. So now what happened? The false superimposition of the intuitive knowledge is removed. Are you getting what I'm saying? Superimposition is removed. Intuition itself is already pointing in the right direction. The confusion is removed. By who? A sharpened intellect. Buddhi, which is sharpened, is only applying this knowledge, sharpened by Atma or self-enquiry, is removing this superimposition. I am knowledge, it's already there. It cannot be changed. As long as the reflecting surface is there, I am knowledge is there. Knowledge of I am, intuitive knowledge is there. Now, from intuitive knowledge, superimposed intellectual understanding is removed. Then what remains? I am remains. Correctly? Now, I am itself is also a reflection, coming because of reflection. Without a mirror, I am, there's no I am. Right? Without the mirror called body and mind, there's no I am. Correct? Without the body and mind, there's no I am. The I am appeared when the body and the mind appeared in the morning. Without there is no, in deep sleep, there's no I am. No sense of I am. Correct? So now, I am is pointing to something which was existing prior to appearance of I am. I am states that I exist and I am conscious. It says that when the mirror is there. When the mirror is not there, still I was existing.
Mirror is not there.
My existence does not depend on the mirror. It's like my face depends on the mirror. My face doesn't depend on the mirror. With the mirror, I can see my face. Without the mirror, I would not have seen my face. But I existed without the mirror. When did I exist without the mirror? In deep sleep, I existed without the mirror, called body and mind. All right? My existence is prior to I am. Got it? So the I am is pointing to, I am is a reflection in the mirror called buddhi and the body, which is pointing to my existence, but my existence is prior to the reflection also. That prior to the reflection is called pure awareness, and I am is the consciousness. I am is a recognition. I exist is a recognition. I exist is a recognition, and expression comes because of recognition. Because of the mirror called body. Because mirror called body and mind, I recognize I exist and I express I exist. So that expression comes in any situation. I am coming, I am going. Every time you are recognizing that you exist. But you have to recognize that you exist prior to I am also. Without the mirror. Did you exist in sleep? So my existence was prior to the appearance of I am. Correct? So the prior to appearance of I am is called deep sleep, equivalent of deep sleep, which is actually called what we call as pure awareness. Okay. The pure awareness doesn't depend on the mirror. It exists. Mirror called body and mind is only recognized to exist, but it doesn't mean that I don't exist if there's no mirror. No, my face is not there. Without the mirror is not correct. Understand? So my nature is pure awareness, which I experience in deep sleep. When the body and mind appears, I become aware. I exist, I am aware because of reflection of Chidabhasa in the body and mind. But I get confused because I don't know which is the original, which is reflected. When the confusion is removed, I understand my nature is pure awareness, deep sleep, where consciousness and unconsciousness does not matter at all. So when I speak of I'm conscious of some objects. I'm conscious of my subject, me. When I say I'm unconscious, somebody is unconscious, that means he's not conscious of objects, but he may not be conscious of subject also. So awareness is beyond consciousness and unconsciousness in that sense.
Here, intuitive knowledge is in front of the mirror, recognizing.
So I have a mirror. What is intuitive knowledge? I have a mirror. My face is appearing here. Okay. So I have a mirror here. Right? In my mirror, my face is appearing. So mirror and face is very clear. Oh, my face is here. Mirror is reflection is here. I can very clear because it's both are mirror is inert. My face is inert reflection. In the reflection. So now I make a face like this. There's some changes happen there. But still I know I am the subject and this object. But in consciousness, this distinction is missing because the reflection is conscious, the original is conscious. So the boundary becomes very confusing. Boundary means what is reflection which comes up and what is the original which is not coming up. There's a boundary. Awareness is always there, eternally. The consciousness appears and goes back. When I wake up in the morning, the body and the world and consciousness appears and goes back. Reflection appears and goes back. But awareness or existence is always there as the background. That's called Brahman. So When you say I am, you are referring saying I am consciousness. But consciousness is always coming from what is prior to consciousness. Prior to consciousness, existence, pure existence, pure awareness. That's what I experience in deep sleep. Anybody has a question on Zoom? Shravan, Narsimurthy.
So, Prabhuji, as long as I know I am conscious of my body, conscious of my mind, conscious of anything, I am conscious, or consciousness can't be separated from what I'm conscious of. Only by
Only by
negating what I'm conscious of.
Yeah.
I am. Is it?
Correct. Correct. That is when you, in case of, you can always separate out an object from consciousness. This is an object from consciousness. Okay. But the body and mind get a maximum reflected light from consciousness, which is called Chidabhasa. So in that reflected light, you cannot separate out the boundary between the original and reflection. Only when you negate Nitya, Anitya, what is changing? Body is changing, mind is changing, intellect is changing. Nitya, Anitya. Atma, Anatma. I am the observer and this is observed. Observed means changing, observed changing thing. So that separation alone, a logical separation, only gives a freedom from the illusion.
Okay. So if that's the thing, in the tuition, in the knowing, or whenever we say intuition, everything is knowing, right? Body objects are knowing, mind is knowing, thoughts is also in the knowing.
Yeah.
And the fact that I am thinking is also in the knowing.
Correct.
Correct?
Correct, correct.
The only thing that I am not knowing is I.
Yeah, which was prior to knowing.
Which is prior to knowing.
Correct.
So intuition is that way no tuition.
Not really. Not really. Intuition, see, this intuition word we are using because any knowledge points to an object. Okay? The intuition is pointing to a subject which is not an object. Intuition is pointing to consciousness, really, I am, which is not an object. So intuition is really intuition. Intuition, because consciousness is something we call as within.
Oh, it is within the one with is tuting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
Tuting means the
knowing.
Intuition means knowing within who is the subject knows himself as intuition. It's not an objective knowledge, but it's confused with objective knowledge.
Prabhuji, is intuition, is it a knowledge or an experience?
What is the difference between knowledge and experience? All experience is nothing but knowledge only, finally. You can have experience without knowledge, is it possible?
Yeah, intuition is like, I know that.
No. See, any experience is invalid without knowledge. For example, I drink a cup of coffee. It's an experience. But I know this coffee, this is the taste of coffee. The knowing is the final. Every experience ends up in knowledge or knowing. So knowledge and knowing is the real experience finally in life.
Okay, there can be knowledge without experience, but there cannot be experience without knowledge.
I would use the word knowing. There can be any experience terminates in knowing. Knowing is the only experience we have in life, because all experience finally is knowing, ends up in knowing. But There's no experience, though there's just experience, but no knowing is not possible. So always I say the knowing is the only experience which you have in life. Are we clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. So basically, intuition is not knowledge, it is knowing.
Intuition is knowing that I exist, I am aware. Okay. The difference between knowledge and knowing. Knowledge is based on the data and memory. Knowing is a continuity. It is just your nature. It's in the present moment. Knowing is based on the intelligence. Knowledge is based on the intellect. Intellect depends on the data. For example, I have a knowledge of physics. I don't have a knowledge of physics. I have knowledge of chemistry. I don't have knowledge. That means I have a memory of chemistry or physics. But my intelligence is always in the present moment. Knowing is always in the present moment. Are you clear? So I will use the other way. I don't have knowledge of physics. Okay. Then I say I have knowledge of physics. Means I have memory, I have information of physics. That's called intellect. But I say, I know I don't have knowledge of physics. I know I have knowledge of physics. Knowledge and ignorance both are there in the knowing principle. Knowing principle doesn't change, which is Atma, Sakshi.
So knowing and having knowledge of physics and not having knowledge of physics, both is intuition.
The knowledge of
Knowing.
the knowing is the observer, the Sakshi, the principle which is there eternally. The knowledge and ignorance appear and disappear. Experience appear and disappear, but knowing never changes. Always there in the background. Knowing is aware of presence and absence of experience, presence and absence of knowledge, presence and absence of consciousness. That knowing principle is prior to consciousness, which is awareness. Knowing is aware of the intuitive knowledge also. No, all knowledge is available. So, does it answer your question?
Then intuition is nothing but awareness only, no, Prabhuji.
Intuition, not awareness. No, intuition.
Knowledge of knowing.
No, do not mix. Intuitive knowledge, I exist, I am aware, is not than deep sleep. When you wake up, intuitive knowledge comes. The intuitive knowledge is pointing to your real nature as existence consciousness, which is actually pointing to your nature prior to existence and prior to appearance of the body and mind. What is confusing? Yes?
So, Prabhuji, can we say awareness of, conscious awareness is intuition?
I don't know what is the meaning of conscious awareness.
So, consciousness is when it is content of consciousness is outside of itself.
Okay.
It is object. The content of
to...
consciousness is subject itself.
That's what I told. No, intuition.
That is awareness. So,
correct.
When I am saying conscious awareness, I am conscious of awareness, but not of anything other than awareness. Is that intuition?
So basically, let me make it simple, Shravan. Okay. Any knowledge is of two types: object knowledge and subject knowledge. The object is inert and subject is conscious. Okay. What is nature of consciousness? It is the awareness is the essential nature of consciousness. Correct?
Correct.
So when I say I am, I is referring to the consciousness, which means I can be aware of anything. It is a sentience. Am means existence. So I am aware of my conscious nature and existence nature. The essence of consciousness and existence is pure awareness and pure consciousness called Brahman. So the I am is pointing to first level my conscious being. I can be aware of anything. The one who is aware of anything is called subject. The intuition is pointing to the subject always. Whereas all knowledge points to object. This knowledge of the subject is called intuition. Knowledge of the object is called objective knowledge. Now the subject knowledge is confused. Which is the real subject? The real subject is pure awareness. So being aware that I am pure, being my nature is awareness. That's the meaning of I am. Any questions for anybody on Zoom?
Hari Om, Prabhuji.
Hari Om.
Prabhuji, can you please elaborate a little bit more on consciousness and awareness and which one is first?
Okay, so awareness is the root of consciousness, source of consciousness. Awareness is always there. Awareness is non-dual, Advaita. In awareness, there's no other. Okay. In awareness, the consciousness arises. So now I can be aware of something. That aware of something is called consciousness. So in deep sleep, I am not aware of anything because I am non-dual. The moment body comes and mind comes, I am aware of something else. So that's called consciousness. Aware of something is called consciousness. Awareness is called pure awareness. Not aware of something else.
Is the dark room exactly intuition? Like goes into the
So let's give an example of a room. Somebody has gone to dark room. Okay. I ask him, is there a table there? I don't know. Because there's no light there. So I cannot know is there an object called table is there or not. If there's light, I can say there's a table is there. That's called aware of something is possible. Aware of object is possible. But are you there? You cannot say, I don't know. There's no light. I know intuitively, I exist, I am aware. That doesn't require a physical light. This is not a physical object. But they always confuse with the physical object called body and mind. The feeling of I am does not require sense organs. Okay? Yes?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Narshimurti.
Evam, Prabhuji.
Evam.
Prabhuji, then can we say I am is the only knowledge which doesn't happen with subject-object associative knowledge? It is the only knowledge which is pure subject knowledge.
The I am is pointing to pure subject.
Yes.
But it's
Yes.
confused with the object.
Yes.
Okay. But I am also is not there all the time. I am appears only when you wake up.
Correct.
In deep sleep, I am is pointing to real I, which is pure awareness, which is non-dual. There's no subject and object now.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So we'll close this question.